There he is.
Much.
Jack.
Hey.
How are you?
How are you, mate?
Good to
You're
see you.
good.
Very nice. Lunch. West London.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the menu.
Yeah.
It's Sri Lankan, Indian, Japanese fusion.
Yeah, a little
Is that
bit.
right?
So, how do we feel about if we did one of the chicken livers? That's something that's been on our menu since we
Jack's
started.
particularly keen on liver, I think.
Yep. That's good.
Does that no? Or are we
I
gonna go
love
try it?
offal before me.
That'd be great.
Do you want to have some water, gentlemen?
Thank you.
Enjoy your lunch.
Where's comedy taking you in the world, talking about travelling and whatnot? Have you done a gig in North Korea yet? I can imagine that would be pretty high on your hit list.
That would be a good language for me to learn.
There's certainly
That's
a
what they
series
need.
in that, or at least just a one-off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something there.
If they had their own version of bad education, they might be a little more chilled out. I wish I had travelled more, because you can travel a lot more doing comedy. But I've done Canada, I've done America, I've done Belgium.
Wow.
I've done
How was Belgium?
Weird. It was weird. I arrived and it was in a club full of Belgian people. I thought it was going to be expats, because it's normally expats
Right.
when you do gigs abroad.
Right.
And they said, no, it's all Belgium, and it's all Belgian comics other than you. And I said, and it's going to be fine, it's going to translate. And he was like, yeah, if you talk maybe a little bit slower, but they're going to understand and they're going to pick it all up. I was like, no, but will the humour be different? And he went, no, the humour in Belgium is exactly the same as the humour you have in Britain. And I looked over his shoulder, and the actor that was on stage was a man dressed as Jesus playing a banjo and singing. And I thought, if he was in a comedy club in England, I don't want to say how it ends, but it's like,
How did the gig go?
it was terrible.
Was it?
I was awful, yeah.
Right, okay.
The Jesus guy got a standing ovation, and I was heckled off.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should have brought a banjo and a cross.
When did you decide that you wanted to become a comic? And did you sit down and it felt like you were making a big decision? Or was it, I'm going to just try this, and if it works, it works?
So I did some gigs in Edinburgh and loved it. The problem is, once you're bitten by it, it's so hard to then do anything else.
Yeah.
So my father was like, you have to go to university and get a degree. So I went to university and started doing a degree in history of art. And the degree in history of art turned out not really to be in history of art, it was in textiles. So I was studying, genuinely for a year, I was studying tapestries
Right.
in Manchester.
Okay.
And not in Manchester, not the tapestries were all over the place.
Okay.
There's not
They
many
weren't from
tapestries in Manchester, no. But I was doing textiles and then going off and doing gigs. And I was
Right.
like, given the choice, I actually prefer doing the gigs.
I was going to ask you about the
Tapestries?
No.
Any question?
I did history of art at
Did you?
university, oddly, as well.
Aren't they getting rid of it? They're getting
Well,
rid of it at
I was
schools.
going to ask you, yeah. I actually read a column, a newspaper column, where they were like, why don't they just drop maths instead?
I wouldn't go for maths. Like maths
No?
is, I think maths is probably going to be
It's significant?
ring fenced and protected. I think if we want to fight this battle, this crusade, which I'm happy to get on board
Okay,
with,
good.
like me and you we're gonna fly the flag for history of art, fly the tapestry for history of art. We should probably, if we want to get rid of another subject, attack
Not
something
maths.
other than maths, because I
Anything
think
but
maths,
maths.
they will not they're not going to drop that.
I don't actually think you're very posh. That's the thing.
No, I
In
never
that
thought I
way.
was.
No.
But I never really thought. Like when I was at school, I didn't think I was posh. I never thought I was posh.
Yeah, you don't really think about
No,
it, do you?
and I met, hoorays, like red trousers, and and I met them, and I was like, "That's posh. I'm not that.
Yeah.
I'm just middle class."
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
you realise that you are growing up in a complete bubble, and to everyone else, you are posh. I initially was just like, God, I never want to talk about where I'm from. I don't want anyone to know, and it's kind of embarrassing. There's this whole thing about trying to find your voice and what your voice is, what your comic voice is, what your angle is. And there is certainly no shortage of straight white men on the comedy circuit. So to have any kind of angle or anything
Okay.
that differentiates you or makes you distinctive
Sure.
is something that you kind of want to strive to have and make light of it and use
Yeah.
it to my advantage and make it a topic of kind of comedy and people enjoy it and they enjoy me aping it and talking about how ludicrous it is. And so it became something that I actually kind of I'm thankful that I have because it's fun,
Yeah.
to have on stage.
Sure. Here we are.
Put these down for you. So you have
wow.
the German mild pork belly with some cucumbers.
Blimey.
The octopus over there.
Chairman Mao's pork belly. It's kind of weird. I didn't know. Has history not judged him a little? Isn't that a bit like going to like a Cambodian restaurant and being served Pol Pot's lamb chops? Like, I think he did some quite bad stuff.
A bit.
Maybe this will redeem him.
Chicken livers,
Blimey.
7 spice and pomegranate molasses.
Thank you very much indeed.
Enjoy.
Great.
Thank you.
Stuck in. How much is politics going to play in the new thing? Because I mean, just looking at the last, I guess, year, I don't know if Brexit will come up. Is that can you even have fun with that kind of thing? It's like.
Well, also, if you're doing it around the country, it's like it's very difficult to know or to gauge. Like, most of my gigs I do in London. So I did a bit about Brexit, and like my dad and how that sort of affected us as a family. And
In terms of what your dad voted to leave? Or,
yeah, I mean, that's not really a shock horror revelation, I guess. But then I was like, if I do that outside of London, I don't know how people will respond to that, and it's, yeah, I don't know
That is
whether
true.
they want, you know, a young guy from a background of privilege who lives in London going to, you know, anywhere around the country, and you know, Newcastle, Manchester, Birmingham, it doesn't matter where it is, and telling anyone that voted Brexit that they're wrong, like, even though in hindsight probably were, but that's my opinion, but that's just my opinion, and
Yeah.
so I think it would be, so I'm sort of thinking probably
That is quite
not.
tricky, actually, yeah. Marriage on the cards? No?
Have you turned into my mum? Does my mum pick you up? Is that why we're here? I mean, I go to a lot of weddings now.
Do you?
There's going to be some material in my show about weddings, just because that's all my life is now. It's just endless weddings.
Really?
Yeah, every weekend. I lost 4 friends this year. One of my best mates went on a stag do to Amsterdam. He was told to take off his belt at airport security, but misconstrued that instruction and thought the guy wanted him to take everything off. And another friend got so drunk on the plane, and then he downed a Bloody Mary, and it went all down his shirt. So had to deal with that. And he was so pissed that there was a moment when the plane was landing where the air stewardess on the public announcement system went, "Would the gentleman wearing the green bin liner please sit down?"
Excellent.
Both those stories I've made about friends.
You're leading the film.
Yes, yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Asterix.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was amazing.
Tell me about that, because I know there's such a sore point with you is the whole Frozen experience.
Yeah.
But and also not only that, but Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark.
And then it had to overdub your one line because you fluffed one word of your one line.
Yeah.
And now you're being hired to
As the
voice a
voice of Asterix.
whole movie.
Well,
I mean, surely
know.
that is redemption.
I know that is.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I loved those kind of books growing up, so
Yeah, me
it was
too.
very exciting to be the voice of Asterix. I think I was slightly wrong for it, but
It's like-
I heard it back.
Oh,
I was
you're
like,
slightly
no.
wrong for it.
Honoured to be asked. And I love kids' films and animations, and this is coming out in
Well, that's the
January.
thing, yes.
I'm in a Disney film at the moment. I'm filming a Disney
Oh, are
film.
you?
Yeah. So
Actually acting.
live action, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And so they can't cut me out of this one.
No.
There's no way.
You're in it a lot.
Yeah, I'm in it a lot. So
Can
and
you
I'm
tell me
so
what it is?
excited. It's the Nutcracker.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is going to be
And
coming
you're
out.
playing.
I'm playing Harlequin, who is kind of the comic relief of the piece.
Cool.
But I love. I'm obsessed with Disney films.
Yeah.
The Lion King. Oh, my whole show was about the Lion King. I'm slightly obsessed.
Should we go, Jack?
Yeah, sure.
Let's roll.